Allow your eyes to close if they're not already. And just become aware of your seat. Sit and know that you're sitting. Breathe and know that you're breathing. And as you do, start with any connections you have to the floor and slowly, mindfully trace those connections in your mind's eye. Aware of temperature and texture. Aware of anything that feels achy or tight or uncomfortable. Just sending your breath there. Recognizing that most of our tension comes from our bodies trying to protect us from pain. So send gratitude and assure that spot, assure that little place that you've got it. You're going to take care of it. You can let go. And then once you've traced all of your connections to the floor, tracing up the length of your spine, aware of your breath as a full body experience. The lungs don't just expand forward, they expand out, they expand down and up. That every breath you take, regardless of how conscious it is, the diaphragm drops, the core expands. We're just noticing what's there. Noticing what we have to do nothing to deserve or earn. It just arrives. And as you continue tracing up into the jaw, into the space around the eyes, the mouth, the tongue, allowing everything to soften. Again, in recognition that you're safe, supported, grounded. Our theme for this week is Satya, the second of the yamas in the 8 limbs of yoga. And it translates as truthfulness. And as always, these prescriptions are here not to help us be better people, whatever that means, but rather to remove any obstacles that separate us from our deepest connection to the life force, energy, prana, God. And if we have any dishonesty in our minds, Patanjali tells us, then that separates us from that energy, separates us from that flow. Later, he goes on to tell us, just like last week's focus, ahimsa, nonviolence, when one is in a state of nonviolence, no violence can happen around them. While similarly, when one is in a state of total truthfulness, Satya, even if they accidentally say something untrue, it will come to fruition. That in fact, if we only speak truth and think truth, that there will be no distinction between what we think and what is true, what is real. So I'll be quiet for a few minutes. Allow yourself to plant that seed, and then don't worry about it anymore. You don't have to do anything. Just anchor into any point of focus, the breath, the sensation of the seat, maybe a sound in the room. And if your mind wanders, which it probably will, minds wander, come back to that sensation. sometimes in our meditation practice, rather than allowing ourselves to live in the space between the thoughts, we use it as a time to sort of ruminate on the day, or to think about something important we need to do, or something maybe even that happened in the past. It's okay. But in our meditation practice, we seek to find that space where the thinking mind has stepped out of the way, even if it's only for a millisecond. And we trust that by encouraging that space, over time we'll be able to live in it for a little longer and a little longer. In these last few moments before we conclude our time together, allow yourself to return to the sensation of the surface beneath you, return to awareness of your breath if you lost it. And maybe note or acknowledge if any answers or insights arose. Maybe in response to Satya, or maybe something else altogether. And I encourage you, if you have a few minutes, to grab a journal or whatever and make some notes about it. If you haven't already, allowing the eyes to flutter open, taking in the space around you. And as always, the light in me bows to and honors the light in you. Namaste.
If you enjoyed this, please be sure to like, share, and follow dailyflow.yoga.